Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Look at what I got. This is going to be the next series in the garden. It might be like number 18, but this is the zucchini that we grew together. We did the gray summer zucchini, Coco Zello zucchini, and Black Beauty zucchini, and they are a little past the time where they should be to transplant them. So I wanted to bring you along and turn on the camera today and show you, and let's see if we can save these. This right here that just popped up not that long ago would have been the ideal size to transplant, but ran out of time and didn't have a chance to get to them. So today we're going to try to transplant our wild and crazy zucchinis. That size would have been an ideal size to transplant into red solo cup. But we are going to try to save these puppies and transplant them today. So I'm so glad you set the time aside to take a look at this video. Real quick before we go any further, if you saw the 1986 sour cream banana bread, that's how real we're keeping it. Everything that could go wrong or did go wrong in that video, I completely left it, didn't edit it through YouTube. I don't have an editing software still. And I had no idea that when I went to sit down and talk to you that I cut off my own head. So when I did see it, I decided, you know what? This is the real world. This is what it's like when you YouTube. Things happen. You get interruptions. Not all of us have an editing software. And the recipe is fantastic. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave all the mistakes and the chopping my head off in the video. Because the recipe is fantastic and the bread came out amazing, super moist. If you have not seen that video, please go back and take a look. But yes, I didn't realize that I chopped my own head off when I sat my phone on the tripod on the table. But I did, and it is what it is. And those things are bound to happen. And I just decided I was posting it anyway. I was not going to remake more banana bread because of a couple little mishaps. So again, if you didn't see that video, please go back and take a look at it. And I had a piece of the banana bread. Phenomenal. I've missed it. Now I know why I stick to that banana bread. If you want a banana bread that tastes like bananas and it's moist and creamy, it's the way to go. So yeah, it's wrapped over on the counter, the banana bread. And I just wanted to explain that, like I said, I'm keeping this channel as real as humanly possible. And that video shows how real I really am keeping it because I chopped off my own head. And the beginning of my video initially got messed up. So if you're new here, thank you for joining me. It's not always like that. But we're all human and there will be mistakes. And I just wanted to clear the air about that video because I was pretty upset about it. And then I thought about it. You know what? It is what it is. It happened and I'm going to leave it. And I did. It's about the recipe. It's about what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. So I'm hoping you guys got a chance to take a look at that. Give that recipe a try. It's amazing. But today we're going to try to save our zucchinis, because you should not let your zucchinis get this long and straggly where they're reaching for the light. And now I'm hoping that I can bring you guys along. Ooh, let me show you. This is my only tomato plant that's over on the grow shelf that is this big. And you can see the roots doing pretty good. So yeah, she's a big one. But we're all still quarantined. You can't go outside. And I'm still going to be moving. But was going to still use the garden center to at least garden. And that's even closed. So we have to make do. Follow the rules. So I have to save zucchinis that we planted together in a previous video. If you haven't seen that, go back and take a look at that. But honestly, we planted the seeds, watered it. This is a 6-pack. And put it on the seed tray, which is not too far from the big window. And these are way too long. They're bent, they're curled. You really should transplant your zucchini when it's about that size. So, wish me luck. Let's hope on camera that I can actually salvage my zucchini plants without disturbing their roots. So this is a gray summer zucchini, which is a pretty wild one. I am now moving to red Solo cups, and it has dirt in there, and I am going to use part of this knife to try to make a nice, decent size hole down in, and hope we can get this out. It's a little dry. Probably should give it a little water first, because it would really make it easier if the whole thing came out together, but it probably will not. So learn from my mistakes and don't let your zucchini get so wild. If you can't save them, there's still time. You can do this process again and keep a little bit more of an eye on them, and then transplant them probably straight out to your garden. But for now, I'm going to try to see if I can actually get this out without destroying the entire zucchini. I should have gotten a tray. I'm going to use this. I'm going to be doing lots of gardening videos today. So I'm going to try to salvage some of the dirt that's going to fall out. You just want to squeeze from the bottom like I am, and just try to wiggle and hope that you can get it out like that. And I barely was able to do that. Now we're going to have to go down pretty deep into our red Solo cup. You want to push the stem down into everything, 4 fingers, and just try your best to push it as far down as possible, keeping the root attached. Pretty firmly, like that. Now it is obviously leaning over. I have wet soil. You can put some more dirt to try to help it. It hopefully, most likely, it will lean back up. But I'm just showing you one of my big blunders here, and that's a mistake by letting them get this long in the first place. And then you can try, depending on how the plant is leaning, to take your tag or butter knife, which is what I'm using, and try to put it in a way to make it be able to stand up like that. But it might fall over. So you might have to play with it for a little bit. But I just wanted to show you that you can usually salvage them as long as you don't rip the root out. So I'm adding some more dirt like such, pressing very lightly around, and now I got it to stand up. So that is the gray summer zucchini that we just saved, folks. And of course I got dirt everywhere. I'm going to give it a tiny bit of water in this dirt. Falls over, it'll most likely stand back up on its own. I just want to hold it for a minute while I put some water right where I planted it. There we go. And there we have it. We just saved a zucchini. As soon as this gets near the light, it'll be fine. You can even try to press it down a little bit further to try to help it to stand. But that's good. It'll do just fine. Now, wherever your light is, you're going to want to point it this way because it's so used to toppling over, reaching for the light. Put it this way wherever your window is. You can always use another spare knife if you need to. Well, I'm using these butter knives as tags to put one on this side so it straightens itself out. But the stem looks pretty straight because it's pretty far down in there. So because it's leaning this way, you want to turn it this way in your windowsill so that it starts training itself to go the opposite direction. So there you have it. I wanted to bring you on and show you the zucchini that we planted and how out of hand it got because of everything that's going on. It's like I saw them and then I just forgot. So there's one saved. And that's what I'm going to have to do to the rest of the zucchini plants. I want to talk to you about something else that's going on here. This is the sugar snap peas. Wild and crazy. These usually are done outside. But I wanted to bring you in a little closer and show you. This was also on the heat mat. But do you notice that the tip is gone? Right there. And the tip is gone right there. Okay. Tip should kind of look like this. All right. Well, I caught my little Miss Sophia, the younger Yorkie, over there nibbling on the plant. So these two as well. I've never planted these inside the house. This is literally a first for me. Only one out of these 6 did not germinate. So we did plant these together as well. So I wanted to show you what they look like. And they are wild and crazy. And I'm going to take another cup and I'm going to try to see if I can salvage a pea. A sugar snap pea plant. I don't know. We'll have to see because I've never planted these inside the house before, let alone I have to try to transplant it. But let's just try and see what happens. So I am going to slide the zucchinis out of the way so you can see. I am going to try for this one right here and see if I can get it out without disturbing its root and put it in a cup like this. But I want to make a hole. I'm definitely not familiar with sugar snap peas. These probably should go outside right now, but what are we supposed to do? Don't know. I'm going to try the same thing I did with the zucchini and squeeze it from the bottom. Squeeze from the bottom and start pushing it up to get it to somewhat come out. And then let's hope that we don't disturb the root. I think this one might be in there pretty good. Let me turn it all the way upside down. See if I can get it to fall into my hand. I've planted beans and peas outside, never inside the house before. And it feels like the roots, ooh, here it comes. The roots get really attached when you're doing the peas. So that's new for me. And now I have to see if we can save it, transplant it. Because like I said, I've never done that before. I've never planted sugar snap peas in the house. I just usually did them outside. Really don't think that they like the roots messed with too much. So if I lose some, I lose some. But I'm just trying to show you that it happens to the best of us. Even people that have gardened forever. I'm trying something new. And that is trying to germinate them in the house and then kind of forgot about them. Now that's not too bad. That sugar snap pea should most likely be fine. I didn't rip the root. I am still trying to push it down a little bit firmer. But this is why sugar snap peas, it is suggested that you plant them right outside due to the circumstances of what's going on, because that's what I say, because I'm not going to say the name. We have to do what we have to do. So I think this sugar snap pea will be fine, but it was very hard to get out of the container. To be honest with you, there's literally only dirt right to there left in the spot that I took it out of. You're just going to have to work with it, put something down so that you can collect the dirt, because I just got dirt all over. But yeah, so now we just saved a sugar snap pea, and I don't want to put it right on the root. I'm going to move it back. Maybe I will put it right here to help it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Since it's so used to going that way, I'm going to put it in the windowsill this way so that it trains itself to try to stay, well, grow a little bit straighter. You can always add a little bit more dirt or give it a little bit of a better pushing to help get it to be in the container firmly, because it really does not like its roots messed with, and to get it to somewhat stand up a little bit better. So there you go. We saved a sugar snap pea, and we saved a gray summer zucchini, transplanting them way late. That's why this is happening, and that's why I wanted to turn the camera on to show you. If you're going to germinate things inside, like sugar snap peas, when they come up, you want to transfer them to something bigger more sooner than later, so that they don't flop over and look like that, which that is this zucchini here, which will be fine. These are the sugar snap peas, which my dog was nibbling at, and this is the one that we just saved, and this should be fine, and I will try to salvage whatever I can out of this one. Let's keep going and show you what else. We did Ashley cucumbers. This one's fine. There was actually 2 in there. These are hanging over. These are completely dead because they were left for too long. So I lost this right here, and this was an extra seed. And that was the Ashley cucumber. And let me see, pickling cucumber. Well, we'll have one Ashley cucumber, but no, we lost the pickling cucumber. We did Space Master cucumbers, Rebel Garden cucumber. So I think I'm going to have to plant. Let me check the other ones here. This is another of the peas that we planted. These are the Alaska peas and some more sugar snap peas, and she ate it almost all the way down. But because there's still a leaf on there, I'm going to try to transplant it. I just want to check the situation as far as pickling cucumbers, because if not, I have to plant more. This is butternut squash, an 8-ball zucchini that literally, you can see this. Let me turn this around for you. This is an 8-ball zucchini. Don't know if you can see that. There it is. Little down there, just popped up. But these, I just caught these in the nick of time, as you can see. So these will be salvageable. But it looks like I'm going to have to definitely plant some more sugar snap. Some more pickling cucumbers, because what was in there is completely dead. And depending on how many sugar snap peas you want, let me just think. 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5, 6. I might have 6 or 7 that I could try to salvage. I'm just not sure about the ones that my dog ate. So this is real life. Things like this happen. So yeah. So we just saved one of our zucchinis. I wanted to show you that they all germinated and they grew, except I just didn't get to it in time. And the sugar snap peas, the same thing. They got a little long, and just, you know, informative information here. When the sugar snap pea gets about that size, let me see, I'll put my finger. When the sugar snap pea gets about that size is when you should transplant it, not when it's all like this. It should be really outside, but so we managed to save that. And I wanted to talk about the cucumbers are all germinating, but most likely going to have to do more of the pickling cucumbers. So the germination rate on this was very good. And here is our butternut squash right here. Butternut squash. We got to get that transplanted. These two in the front are butternut squash. The middle is crookneck right here. Summer squash. And this is a crookneck. And this one right here says it's a dark green zucchini. It's odd that that's there, not in the other one. And then we have one 8-ball zucchini that we planted. So, what is the moral of today's video? To show you that what we planted together, if you go back and look at the videos, this one might be 1 or 2 back in the garden series. We did summer zucchini and black zucchini. I think we did that whole video together, and I think the end cut me off. And I came back on just so we can plant some sugar snap peas to be completely done. And this is where we're at. That's what they look like. And I just forgot and didn't plant them, transplant them, and that's what happens. And I wanted to show you the good, the bad, the ugly. But the germination rate on the cucumbers is fantastic. Also, the zucchinis all germinated, fantastic. And quite a few of them were from the dollar store. So let's not forget that either. They did germinate and they did grow. I know for a fact that the crookneck summer squash right here is definitely from the dollar store. And the butternut squash, which is right here, is from the dollar store package. It's not from M.I. Gardener. So there you have it. Just a quick little video to show you, which let me pick it up and show you, is that if you're going to be doing certain things like zucchini or cucumber, sugar snap peas, when they get about this size right here is when you should most definitely transplant them into a bigger pot, even a red solo cup, not when they really get to this point here. So lesson learned, that is today, you know, that's basically the moral of the story about today, is the stuff that we planted germinated great, but I forgot about it. And now I have to try to see if I can salvage these. And another thing you could do, if you don't think you can salvage them, is get yourself a cup like this and drop a couple extra seeds in. As a matter of fact, you could put a couple zucchinis in here. You could do some sugar snap peas in a cup this size, and that would be fine if you can't save your vegetables. So this is the size, everyone, for your cucumbers, your zucchinis, maybe a little bit higher for your sugar snap peas is the proper size, you know, for them to grow, and when you should be transplanting them and not letting them look all cray-cray like this. So just a quick video to come on to show you how the seeds did, everything that germinated, and this is what happens when they want the light and you don't get to them. And yeah, they're kind of a little bit of a hot mess, but things happen. But here is the zucchini. This one is the gray summer zucchini, which is already standing up on its own right there. Well, it may flop over. That's okay. Like I said, since it wants to go this way, you're going to want to make sure you put it that way in your windowsill so it reaches for the sun that way. Worst case scenario, we just plant some more in a red solo cup. But we saved this zucchini and crazy sugar snap pea. So that is what I'm going to be doing for a little bit, and that's transplanting. And if I don't feel as if it's worth it, I may just take a cup and put 1 or 2 sugar snap peas in here, or zucchini. You can do that as well. But overall, these here are not a terrible size. These I just caught in the nick of time to be able to transplant these, and these are the cucumbers. But we definitely did lose, I say we, pickling cucumbers. I'm going to have to plant some more of those. So one was to talk about the sour cream banana bread and all the mistakes in that video and why I chose to leave it. 2 was to show our germination rate. This is pretty good size right here for the butternut and the crookneck summer squash, dark green zucchini. We have 1 lone survivor of the 8-ball zucchini. This is a really good size. The transplant should be a little bit smaller, like I showed you. You should start transplanting them when they are, trying to aim this, when they are a little bit small like that, maybe a tiny bit bigger. Like this one right here is a good size. Let me move that one out of the way. This one right here is a good size to transplant. As soon as it goes up to your spoon or your tag, you should transplant. So germination rate and when to transplant. So that was really what today's video was about. That if you have them like this, it's time to start transplanting them, or out in your garden if you have a lot of property. Unlike me, my garden is sitting out back that I've had for 12 years because I am moving. If you haven't seen that video, you can go back, take a look at it. So I'm trying to make do in transplanting things because I still don't even know where I'm moving yet because everything is closed. So it's just a weird year, weird spring, and I'm trying to make the best out of it. And I'm going to save all the butternut squash and the zucchini, and I'm going to transplant them into cups so that I can still have somewhat of a gardening season. So don't forget, don't let your cucumbers or your zucchinis get much bigger than this right here, or you could lose quite a few because they curve, they want to fall over, and yeah. So for any newbie gardeners out there, things like this happen even to the best of us that have been gardening for a long time. So that is the moral of today's video. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for everyone joining me. Thanks for putting up with the mishaps on my videos. And now I have to go and transplant all my squashes and zucchinis. I am going to try to save as many as I possibly can. But remember, don't let them grow taller than this, whether it's a cucumber, a squash, a zucchini, sugar snap pea. This is the perfect size that you should take it out of there and transplant it into like a red solo cup. So that's what I have for you today, guys, for the gardening series, for the garden series. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, start transplanting. All right, guys, until next time, God bless.